Hello everyone, welcome to Synthesis IAS Academy, a place where blend of ideas take place. And about me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Thumala, and my credentials are: I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services, and I take up issue-based current affairs. And this session will certainly help you because throughout my session I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases, and these keywords and the key phrases will certainly help you for prelims to identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions, and for the mains examination, while you get into the mode of imbibing or inculcating the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, wherein your answers would be precise and concise, and certainly you will score higher marks in the mains examination. So this session, that is issue based current affairs, will certainly help you to score more marks in the mains 2020 and also for the prelims 2021. And this topic is in regards to the Blue Flag International Eco Label. And while we are concentrating or going through the entire topic of Blue Flag International Eco Label, I will also focus in regards to the subtopics, that is Blue Flag Project. What is about Blue Flag Project? The 8 beaches which have been considered as a blue flag in India, and then Blue Flag certification for beaches which has been taken up by the ministry, and we'll also focus in regards to the international coastal cleanup and integrated coastal zone management, and also the Society of Integrated Coastal Management. We will also look at what is beams, and further we will conclude in regards to the various steps taken to make sure that India has been into the mode of promoting the Blue Flag Project. And now we will focus at what is Blue Flag Project. Certainly the Blue Flag Project is an ecotourism model which will certainly provide the tourist and the beach goers a clean and hygienic bathing facilities. It will provide facilities and amenities to the tourist and the beach goers. It will also provide safe and healthy environment. At the same time, it will also provide sustainable development of the entire area. So these are the 4 ecotourism model which is based on the providing the tourist and the beach goers a very good, the clean and hygienic bathing water, facilities and amenities, safe and healthy environment and sustainable development of the area. So this is what is called as Blue Flag Beach, and this project has begun in India in the year 2018 as a pilot project which has been taken into consideration in regards to various states and union territories coastal areas, and now we have the 8 beaches which have been considered as a Blue Flag Beach by the international agency which is in Denmark, and this has ensured in regards to the tourist season of 2020. The 8 beaches have been got the certification for the tourist season of 2020. So certainly the Blue Flag beaches are considered as the cleanest beaches of the world. So when you are focusing as the cleanest beaches of the world, certainly the cleanest beaches in India are 8 beaches as on today, and that is called as the Blue Flag Project. And the 8 beaches we will focus, which will be again very important and very useful information in regards to the prelims 2021. So the 8 beaches which have been considered are the Shivrajpur in Gujarat, and then Ghogla in Daman and Diu, Kasargod and Padubidri in Karnataka, Kappad in Kerala, Rishikonda in Andhra Pradesh, Golden Beach of Odisha, and Radhanagar in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So these are the 8 beaches which are the magnificent 8 beaches which are part of the Blue Flag beaches, and India has been awarded 3rd prize along with the 8 beaches. The amount of efforts taken up by India or the government of India and the ministry concerned has been, India has been awarded the 3rd prize by the international jury, that is by the international agency pertaining to which is in Denmark, and that as the jury is under the international best practices for pollution control in the coastal regions. So India has taken up various scenarios and various circumstances and various measures to make sure that the pollution control has been taken into consideration in the coastal regions, so that it has attained the third prize by the international jury. And not only that, India has also been the first country in the Asia Pacific region which has achieved this feat in just 2 years of its initialization. That means it has taken up the project of Blue Flag Beaches project in the year 2018, but by the year 2020 we have attained that India was the first country to have 8 beaches considered as a blue flag beaches in the world, and blue flag beaches are the cleanest beaches in the world. And along with that, Japan, South Korea and UAE, along with India, Japan, South Korea and UAE are the only other Asian nations, including India, which have been conferred as the blue flag beaches by the international jury. So India, Japan, South Korea and UAE in the Asian nations, and India is now the league of 50 blue flag countries. So definitely India now stands, or it finds its place in the blue flag countries in the top 50. And definitely it wanted to make sure that it will have 100 such beaches in India by the next 5 years. India wanted to go ahead, and then it is planning in regards to that. And India has begun this journey, as I said, that it was in the year 2018, and now we have 8 beaches. And definitely there is lot of marine litter and oil spilling due to various reasons. Oil spilling because of the clash or because of some technical snag. The oil spilling do take place in the waters, and that is causing lot of disturbance to the aquatic life. And India is certainly taking various efforts and measures for sustainable development of the coastal regions. So this is a key phrase which you need to focus for the mains examination. So India's efforts are trying to handle the challenges in regards to the sustainable development of the coastal regions by overcoming the marine litter and then oil spilling. And now we'll focus in regards to the blue flag certification for beaches. So definitely the ministry has gone ahead with taking up a program called as a blue flag certification program, and it has selected few beaches in the country. And when we are talking about the certification, it is in regards to the international agency. That agency, which is located in Denmark, is called as Foundation for Environment Education. So it is in regards to the environment education. So there could be a question by taking up the keyword or the key phrases in regards to the environment education. Please do focus on this keyword, environment education. And when we are going ahead with identifying or making up the program of blue flag certification, it has 4 major heads, 4 criterias, and amongst the 4 major heads you have 33 stringent criteria, so that once a beach will be considered as a blue flag beach. So you need to, the international agency will look into the 33 criterias among the 4 major heads to identify or to select a beach in the world to be recognized it as a blue flag beach. And what are the 4 heads? Are the first one is environmental education and information, the first major head, and the second one is bathing water quality of the beach, and the environment management and conservation, and the 4th one is safety and services in the beaches. So these are the 4 major heads which can be the keyword or the key phrases which you can write it or use it as a short notes in the mains examination in regards to the blue flag project which the government have taken. And what are the major or the 4 major heads which the international agency consider the 33 stringent criteria to recognize a beach as a blue flag beach. And in regards to the certification, we have the 13 pilot beaches which have been identified for the certification in India in various states and union territories. by the ministry, and those that 13 beaches, pilot beaches, are Ghogla beach in Diu, and then you have the Shivrajpur beach in Gujarat, and then Bhoghev beach in Maharashtra, and then you have Padubidri and Kasargod beach in Karnataka, and then Kappad beach in Kerala, Kovalam beach in Tamil Nadu, Eden beach in Puducherry. Do not get confused Eden beach as West Bengal. Rishikonda beach of Andhra Pradesh, Miramar beach of Goa, this one, and then Golden beach of Odisha, and you have Radhanagar beach of Andaman Nicobar Islands, this one, and then Bangaram beach of the Lakshadweep Islands. So there are 2 beaches in the islands. What you need to focus out of the 13 pilot beaches which are in the islands is the Andaman Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands. These are the 2 beaches. Do not get confused if it is asked in which among the following statements in regards to the blue flag beaches. So Radhanagar beach is in Andaman Nicobar Islands, and then Bangaram beach is in Lakshadweep Islands. And now we will focus in regards to the international coastal cleanup. What is that process? So we have a day which is considered as an international coastal cleanup day, and that is considered on 3rd Saturday of the month of September every year, and it is celebrated across 100 countries since 1986. So the International Coastal Cleanup Day is taken up or celebrated across 100 countries since 1986, and the ministry or the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has announced the virtual first time 8 beaches of India which have been recommended for the blue flag certification by the International Eco Label. So certainly the International Coastal Cleanup Day is celebrated on 3rd Saturday of the month September every year or each year, and this year it was on 19th of September. 3rd September was falling on the 19th September of 2020, and the theme of the International Coastal Cleanup is very important for the prelims 2021. So the theme for the International Coastal Cleanup 2020 is achieving a trash-free coastline. What do you mean by trash? That is that you do not have any kind of dirt or litter. So litter-free coastline is that the theme in regards to the Coastal Cleanup Day 2020. And this has started, as we discussed, in the year 1986 when actually Linda Marinis and then Kathy O'Hara were working for an ocean conservancy. So when these 2 people were working together for the ocean conservancy, then the International Coastal Cleanup Day has started by both of them in the year 1986. And now we will focus in regards to what is International Coastal Zone Management, ICZM. So this ICZM was introduced in the year 1992 during the Earth Summit at Rio de Janeiro, and this was in regards to, that is, integrated coastal zone management was in regards to adopting the principles. Why it was adopting the principle? So that it can manage the coastal zones which can be litter free coastal zones, and the adoption of ICZM principles of managing and sustainably developing our coastal regions. So it is not just managing, but we are also sustainably developing our coastal regions, and that is helping India to meet the commitments of the international agreement of ICZM, that is Integrated Coastal Zone Management. And the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change have launched the ICZM activities in India for a holistic approach, that is a complete approach in regards to, wherein we will look at it as interactive, dynamic, multidisciplinary and iterative planning process. So the holistic approach will be taken into consideration by 4, and it will, that is ICZM will promote sustainable development, certainly by making sure that ICZM is taken into consideration or it is implemented. It will certainly promote sustainable development and management in regards to SICOM. We will also look at what is SICOM, and this will protect and conserve. That means the holistic approach, and definitely it will protect and conserve the coastal and marine ecosystem and environment through a holistic coastal management. So here the point is how India has worked, or India has taken various measures and systems in place so that it has promoted sustainable development and management of the coastal lines, and it has protected and conserved the coastal and marine ecosystem and environment. It has also implemented holistic approach in regards to interactive, dynamic and multidisciplinary and iterative planning process. So all this is now in regards to the holistic coastal management. Key word here is holistic coastal management. And certainly now we will focus in regards to the SICOM. So what is SICOM? It is Society of Integrated Coastal Management, and the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change both together have promoted the policies for sustainable development in the coastal region. Look at the keyword here, sustainable development. So when we are focusing on the development, it is eco-friendly, it is ecotourism, it is sustainable development in the coastal region, and this has been acclaimed by various programs. One of the program is called as BEAMS program, and that means Beach Environment and Aesthetic Management Services. BEAMS means Beach Environment and Aesthetics Management Services under ICZM, which we have looked at as Integrated Coastal Zone Management Project. So based on these two projects, the Society of Integrated Coastal Management have focused in regards to promoting the policies of sustainable development in coastal regions. So definitely this will be a probable question in the mains in regards to the sustainable development in coastal regions by India through the BEAMS and the ICZM along with the SICOM and the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So you have various keywords here to focus, and now we will look at it. What is BEAMS? And this eco-label BEAMS was co-hoisted and then flagged as I am saving my beach. Of the 8 beaches, India has launched this hashtag, and the main objective of this program, that is BEAMS, is to abate is lessen or shorten the pollution in coastal areas, to promote the sustainable development of the beach facilities, to preserve and conserve the coastal ecosystem and natural resources, and also to look at seriously the challenges posed by the local authorities and the stakeholders, to strive and maintain high standards of cleanliness, hygiene and safety of the tourist and the beach goers in accordance with the coastal environment and the international regulations. So the BEAMS objective is to lessen the pollution in the coastal waters, promote sustainable development of the beach facilities, protect and conserve the coastal ecosystem and natural resources, and seriously focus on the challenges of the local authorities and the stakeholders so that they can strive and maintain high standards in regards to cleanliness, hygiene and safety. So this is again a very important keyword for the prelims as well as to be part of the short notes in regards to the mains examinations in regards to the Blue Flag project. And this program is to promote beach recreation, which will have harmony with nature, not in such a way that the recreation is creating problem to the environment or ecology. No, it will be in harmony with the nature. And now the conclusion is the World Bank has applauded India's coastal zone management efforts which it has put in India in regards to the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and the World Bank has termed India as lighthouse for the countries of the region. So definitely India is showing as a sign, as an example to the other regions in the entire the Southeast Asian countries also, or South Asia also, or the Asian region itself, that it is providing, or it is as a lighthouse for the countries in the Asian region. So definitely the Blue Flag Beaches program and certification are very crucial information for the mains 2020, which will be in regards to the coastal management or coastal zone management. So this would be asked in regards to the coastal zone management, which would be part of the environment, which could be in regards to the health. Again, that is, we have various 33 stringent criterias and the four major heads, which will also focus the health of the beach goers or the tourists. So definitely it could be based on the environment or health and the coastal zone management. So these are the three areas wherein the probability of the formation of the question in the mains 2020 is very prospective. So I hope this session was very informative, knowledgeable for you all, so that it will be very useful for the mains 2020 examination. So I would say a very big thank you to all and a good luck to you all. And then before you sign off, do like the video, share the video and hit the bell button to subscribe, so that you will have the notification of Synthesis IAS Academy, a place where blend of ideas take place. So I would further come up with issue based current affairs, which will certainly be beneficial and useful for you all in regards to the mains 2020 as well as prelims 2021. Thank you very much.